YouTube, and let's get their music going too, huh? Get it going like this. He had a rough day today. There's just there's just no easy way to put it. And sometimes you gotta just kind of let that train hit you, I guess, and wallow in whatever it is you're feeling. No point in better out than in, I always say. And so now you got some music while I have some music, and I don't even know that this is good for the whole recording aspect of it. To be honest with you, just wanted to give you a little taste of that. So now it's only in my head. We're trying to figure it out, and we're gonna figure it out. Doing different things. For example, today you're getting a whole lot better sound. That's thanks to this really expensive mic. Uh, this is it right here. You see that? See this heavy thing right here? That's putting all the weight on. That's to keep the mic hot. And this mic is just so great that there's certain people that will not record or do anything unless they have a mic like this. Let's see. Oh yeah, I don't know if anybody noticed, but I was stoned out of my fucking mind the last time we did a show. I was extremely high, and it has everything to do with a toothache. I've been going through, suffering, struggling through. But we got an appointment tomorrow, thankfully, and we'll pretty much get sorted out tomorrow, or not. I might have to go back, but it's not a big deal. No one's on here. Great. That's gonna make editing a whole lot easier. I kind of feel like we could have used that song a little differently. Could have really, really, really helped us out coming in, because we definitely had a rough one today. It's been a rough, rough day. We see. I'm getting text messages. See, this is another thing I'm gonna have to pretty much. When you say we have an appointment, oh, the royal we. I see. She could just walk in here, but she's sending text messages, and I'm gonna have to silence this now. It's the royal we, honey. We got an appointment tomorrow. See, me and whoever's in here and whoever's concerned about my tooth and the fact that it's rotting. You can probably smell my breath from wherever you are in the house. And it's been hurting a lot. And I was extremely fucking faded the last time we did a show. I mean, I was really, really, really high. And the concern there is that it wasn't a good show. For so many reasons, we ran into technical difficulties. Today because out of nowhere I decided I wanted you to hear the song that was in my head, just so that we get a feel for the energy going in. And now I'm also thinking about the editing process, because letting you hear it while it's in my head means that the sound for the Spotify podcast might not sound so great. But you heard the song, you heard the energy going into this. I would have put on "You Had a Bad Day," but I'd rather not, because then there's the whole licensing issue. There's so many benefits to making your own music, because I get to use songs that I made, like that song that was on earlier. I made it, and I get to use it. because it's mine. I own it. You had a bad day. My cat's lost, bro. My cat's name is Batman, for those that don't know, and he's lost. We were rushing out for an appointment to get the insurance to be able to make that dentist appointment. So on one hand, we got something done that was extremely important. That was pretty much taking over my life. This toothache and this pain that I'm feeling in my mouth. But then the cat goes missing, and he's 5 months old, and he doesn't really go out a whole lot. I mean, he wants to be outside all the time. Let's just get that out of the way. And he does venture off quite a bit. We've only known him about a month and a half now, though. We've only had him a month and a half. Plenty of time to fall in love with him. Plenty of time to care about him and be concerned about where he's at right now. Because he's still technically a baby. He's 5 months, right? Still technically a baby. Still a kitty. Still learning how to be a cat. Doesn't even know how to be a cat, and we have no idea where he's at right now. He's wandering around somewhere in the dark right now, and our thoughts and prayers are definitely with Batman right now, hoping that at least he found somewhere safe to spend the night. It is very possible that an asshole neighbor picked him up and is like, haha, I own this cat now. Well, good luck, because he likes to go out a lot. And I have a hard time imagining he'd be somewhere close by and able to escape and not make his way over here to our door. I find that hard to believe, because as much as an inexperienced kitty this kitty is also special in a way, because it's a cool cat. And if he was able to go 40, 50 feet and then come back on his own accord, it's definitely possible that he decided to go a little further today. But I don't know. Is that normal for cats at 5 months? I have no idea. I Googled it. They didn't say cats at 5 months, but they said cats will definitely go 40 to 200 meters, translated into feet. That's as far as 600 feet. So I think we settled on half a mile, so half a mile radius. We were out for like 3 hours looking for them. I drove around initially, and then on foot. Then I drove around, and then my family and I went out to go look for Batman, and we didn't find him. And we decided to go home. And now we're hoping that we hear him meowing at some point. So yeah, it's been rough. It's been rough, and it's just getting harder. Uh, I don't want to focus too much on the FBA today. I'm kind of excited that we're not playing any video or audio for you that we really don't feel like playing. And the only reason I wouldn't feel like playing is because they're so annoying. The low frequency vibrations that come off of these people, it can make you sick. And we had to give them 4 episodes. We're on episode 5 now. Congratulations, us, huh? No one's listening. No one's watching. Hopefully, somebody tunes in at some point. But I did want to say one thing about the FBA, and it's just so funny how they'll go out into the streets in Austin, Texas, armed to the teeth, and they'll march like 20, 30, 40, 50 deep, whatever it was. There was a lot of creepy looking musclehead characters walking around yelling crazy things with guns in their hands. And I guess what I wanted to say is they claim to be you, right? I mean, essentially, whoever you are, whoever's listening right now, whether You identify as an indigenous person, Latino, Asian, uh, I don't know. Who do they claim to be? They claim to be the original Jews. And now I'm just getting into all these kind of like creepy cults. They claim to be the original Jews. They claim to be Egyptians. They claim to be the Moors. They claim to be the Olmecs. They claim to be so many things. They claim to be so many people, right? And they'll try to buddy up with you and explain to you how they are you and you're them because they're the first peoples on planet Earth according to their beliefs, and therefore you have to be some kind of byproduct of a black person. They claim to be you, and this is what I don't understand. I don't understand how you can claim to be me and then you put me down every chance you get. Because if I'm you and you're putting me down, well, then aren't you putting yourself down? Right? Every time you talk shit about me, aren't you technically talking shit about yourself? I mean, any insecurity you want to project onto me, what you're really saying is that's how you feel about yourself. And they'll use that word project is definitely in their vocabulary. It's definitely in their scripted verbiage. It's definitely something Tariq Nasheed likes to say. You're projecting or you're deflecting. You're doing all the things that they say you're doing. Technically, they're the ones doing it. So I'll say it again. FBA claims to be you, but puts you down. Tries to cause you harm any which way FBA can. How does that work? How does it work that you claim to be Native American, yet you're protesting Native Americans to some degree on the streets in Austin, Texas? You claim to be indigenous, yet you have something to gripe about every time an indigenous person receives some sort of help, or at least in your mind they're receiving help, or at least in your mind they're being given land for free. Every time something like that happens, you're upset, and you're upset about the stuff that you're not getting, so much so that you're going to scream it at the top of your lungs, and you're going to say, hey, they're getting it, why can't we have something the same or similar? And we know these treaties are being broken on a daily. We know the whole thing used to belong to us. We know we got portions of it back in comparison to what we had, and it's shriveling, and our people constantly have to defend their territories tooth and nail, seemingly. And this is what you're jealous of, FBA? This is what you want? You want to claim to be us, but never fought for an indigenous fight in your life. You claim to be us, yet you know nothing. You know nothing of our history, our traditions. You have no knowledge of ceremonies or any sort of knowledge about any tribe. You know no language, you know no songs, you know nothing about decolonizing yourself. You claim to be us, but you put us down. You throw us under the bus every chance you get. How does that work? How can you say that like you're the original ninja, like you're the original samurai, and then go on a rant about Asian restaurants serving rats and bat stew? How do you claim to be the original Asians, yet all you do is put Asians down? You want to mock how they're the model American. You want to mock that the model the model minority American, excuse me, you want to mock that. That's funny to you to to say that they're society's preferred minority. Like you say that right on time, love is sharing. You say it so effortlessly without a care in the world, as if you know you're not going to get any backlash. You can say essentially that you spawned the Asian race according to you. Your people did that. That's what you say. That's what you believe. But you'll put them down every chance you get. You'll be upset about a bill put in place to protect them, but not for the right reasons. Hmm? Everything's money motivated. You want to claim to be the Moors. You want to claim to be the Egyptians. This is you, Tariq Nasheed, and your people and their misguided beliefs. Yet you have no proof. And we know the truth. We know exactly where you're from and how you got here. Even how you got to Chatsworth. That's how much we know about you, Tariq Nasheed. And we know that the reason that it's so easy to put us down is because you know you're full of shit. You know you're not us. You know everything you say is a lie. And that's why it's so easy to put us down. All right? So whatever simp, whatever Latinx, freaking whoever these people are that actually listen to you and buy into your bullshit, that's who you'll tell the fairy tales to. Because whenever you think you're in front of someone that matters, your story changes. We've all seen it. We all know what that means. We all know what it means when somebody can't keep their story straight. It's because they're lying. They're lying. Our story hasn't changed. We're protecting the culture. We're protecting the culture, and what happens? We get dinged for it every single time. The same things you all weirdos complain about. That's actually happened to us because these major platforms have an extreme obsessive bias. And how this is being rolled out, I have no idea. We have many theories, but it's time we go through the list. TikTok, hmm? That we know of for sure. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. What's going on? Are you truly that eager to make yourself a part of the story? Do you think there's so few of us that are paying attention? There's definitely so few of us that'll let you hear what our voice sounds like. There's definitely so few of us that you don't really know what our faces look like. But there's not that few of us. And where I'd like to see this whole Wabo fighting thing, and maybe today we finally do define what Wabo means and why we don't even want to use that word anymore. But this whole Wabo fighting thing has found itself in a weird position because now the only people that are willing to speak up and defend the truth are the only people being reprimanded on social media platforms. These these social media platforms are heaven on earth for for misinformation, for indigenous erasure, and anything like it. I've seen some very weird and disturbing things on TikTok that I mean personally I could only describe it as kiddie porn. And I don't even like fucking saying those words or putting the word child or kid or whatever next to anything sexually explicit. But that's how disturbing it's gotten. And I've reported these things to TikTok, and the report comes back that after reviewing what I reported, they didn't feel like any guidelines, any community guidelines were how do you say violated. No community guidelines were violated according to TikTok. When you're complaining about preteens having extremely explicit conversations on the platform, and having the page have like more freaking hits than whose name do I use? Nobody's gonna want their name used. Okay, it has more hits than Charlie bit my finger. We'll throw Charlie bit my finger under the bus for a second, right? These weirdo TikTok posts have more hits than Charlie bit my finger. That hurt, Charlie, right? And I found it. I found it. So if you're listening right now, because no one's on right now, this is live, and no one's on. But if you're hearing this from wherever you are, even if it's 120 years into the future, and the world is dust, and it's a post-apocalyptic now, and you're wearing a helmet with spikes on it, and I can only assume there's a huge scar going down one of your eyes, and yeah, Mad Max. Let's just rip one off and just put you in the desert on a freaking dune buggy, and there's a sandstorm, and yada yada yada. All right. If this shit got to you somehow, right? This fucking this fucking stream, this fucking podcast, this fucking YouTube channel shit. If this found its way to you, I want you to look at Quasi Young on Instagram. Okay. That's at QUAIZEYUNG. And I was gonna start saying like Q is in quail, U is an umbrella, but dude, fuck all that. I'm not no alpha bravo fucking alpha beta zeta talk over here. Uh fucking figure it out. Quasi Young. QUAIZEYUNG on fucking TikTok. It's this kid that walks around asking other kids seemingly his own age, and I haven't really seen him talk to any little girls, but for shits and giggles we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna see if we can get this shit, and we can find it right now on our own phone. We're on TikTok now. Quasi Young. Holy, I found him. Not only did I find him, but I found the TikTok that I was trying to put on blast. Uh, I have to warn you, folks, if you're triggered by if you would be triggered, I should say, by children talking about very sexually explicit things to each other. If that would be a trigger to you, tune out right now. There's your warning. Then I said that nigga dick. The previous me. What's your darkest confession? I fucked my cousin. Then I said that nigga dick. Jordan, the question I got for you is, what's your darkest confession? When I was fucking with this girl, and she came to the house, and she took her pants off. And she had a dick, like. So the tranny fucked you, or you fucked? Like, what happened? A little bit of both. You feel me? What's your darkest confession? I fucked my cousin. Then I said that nigga dick. Jordan, the question. So these are the kind of things that TikTok thinks is okay. That's the sort of stuff I reported, and just from my experience with FBA and dealing with them, like I am very good at reporting things. I read I've read all of the, I guess you could say, policy or guidelines about reports and reporting them. So I know about different types of things to report and how to report it, whether it's bullying and harassment, whether it's misinformation, hate speech leading into fear mongering, somebody's personal information being outed. So there's a lot of different reports you can report when you're on social media, when you're on TikTok specifically. And I reported that, and according to them that's okay. According to them, that meets their community guidelines. Well, when I say them, who am I talking about? This is a China-based company, from what I understand, and there's no hub, there's no one at home at their home office answering calls, or and then the reviewing process. I mean, is that the same? Do you just have like someone that gets hired to review that? They look at it, and then based off their judgment, they're gonna look at their guidelines, like, yeah, no, doesn't violate any of our guidelines. Listen, I'm not gonna pretend like I know what the process is. Not for Twitter, not for Instagram, not for TikTok, not for Facebook. I don't know what the process is for those people. I don't know what they do. I would love to know. I definitely would love to know, because here's the thing. There's an extreme bias on behalf of all social media platforms for misinformation, for ethnocentrism, for pseudo conspiracy theories, or any sort of fantasy nonfiction information. Like, there's a whole lot of leeway there, and we're just not seeing the same across the board. If you're someone that's trying to wave a red flag and point some shit out and say, "Hey, there's some stuff going on over there that shouldn't be going on." If you're someone like that, if you're someone who likes to put a mirror up in society's face and say, "This is what you are. Do you see what's going on?" Or if you're someone that's just like, "Hey, look at that. Isn't that interesting?" Things that make you say, right? Things that get the wheels turning, things that make you think, like, not in a weird conspiracy sci-fi fantasy kind of way, like, no, in a like, Mother Earth is fucking dying type of way. In hey, there's a bunch of cultists trying to steal my culture type of way. That sort of stuff gets flagged on social media. I don't even know if you have to report it at this point. I don't know if they got us on a timer. The same way I don't know the process for reviewing stuff for those individual companies. I can speculate all night. I'd rather not. Uh, but the same way I have no idea about that, I have no idea about their process with us. Are we just on a? Is it just a ticking time bomb as soon as we identify as natives, or native indigenous, or you know what I mean? Once we you know put our tribe on there, is there just a ticking time bomb that goes off after I don't know, 1,000 followers, or 57,000 hits, 8,000 likes? What is it? What's the magic number? Or how are you shelling out that discrimination, you guys? I think it's silly. I think it's a really silly game to play with very thorough people. You know, there's only so many people you can assassinate, man. We are a growing community. Us people that are protecting the culture. What are you gonna do when we out you for all this shit? Because whether you know or you don't know, we're saving all of this information. We're getting the emails. We're screenshotting the reports that are coming back. We're we're able to show what we show. We're able to show what you get us in trouble for. It's all being documented. You're documenting it and we're documenting it. So what happens when we get lawyers involved? Hmm? What happens once you make it on the documentary we're all working on? And we all got different documentaries we're all working on. Who are we? We're activists. I've identified who we are. We're activists. We're pre-Hispanic. We're decolonizing our minds. We're calling out bullshit wherever bullshit's at. We're fighting bullshit wherever bullshit's at. And you think that we're gonna not notice that we're the only ones getting dinged? We're essentially reposting stuff from other individuals and saying it's bad. And all we're doing literally is posting what they with their what they're posting. We're taking their stuff and we're putting it on our stuff and we're saying that's bad. And you're saying, nope, can't do that. No, that's a violation. We're gonna violate you. And meanwhile, we're getting literally threats from the other side. Threats coming in different form, whether it's a comment or it's a video or whatever it might be. And we're reporting that to you. And you're coming back and you're telling us, sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. This doesn't break our rules. When they posted what we posted, and now they're insulting us for calling them out on it. They're insulting us for posting what they posted and pretty much debunking it or explaining how it's not true or how it's harmful. You're penalizing people that are exposing bad things. Wouldn't you want to reward someone, right? So if there's like a like specific content that gets people in trouble, like let's say that rescuing a lady from a burning bridge is too much for someone to bear, seeing that or even hearing it, right? But what happened on screen is still something positive. Like saving an old lady from a burning bridge is a good thing. Shouldn't this person be praised as a hero? We're gonna more so focus on how it hurts other people's feelings. But we're not just talking about other people, are we? We're talking about a very specific group of people. We're talking about a very specific group of marginalized people. Hmm? I do believe that you're putting us in a precarious situation. Hmm? Where we now have to compete for like not just equal treatment from white people, but now we can't even get equal treatment as other minorities, can we? You know what I mean? Like in that, they call it lateral violence. Is that what it is? When you're now put in competition for who has suffered the most, right? Isn't it also sort of a way of pinning us against each other when we now have to compete over who suffered the most, who deserves reparations, who deserves land back? Every so often, I suppose I'll have to do this. I'll have to remind people of how indigenous people were colonized and also enslaved, and how we went through very similar things. Our people fought and died for this land, and it almost seems like they continue to fight and die every day. I don't that hasn't stopped. For anyone that knows nothing of residential schools and all the children that have been excavated from underneath churches in other countries and coming to a local mission or residential school near you. We're not done digging. This is still very much a thing that's going to be a thing for a while. And we're talking about children, thousands, upon thousands of children that the creator only knows what was done to them. We know how it ended. We know they died young. We know they were murdered. We know where they were buried. And we're going to be unburying these children for many years to come, unfortunately. That's traumatic within itself. There was people that found out about this, and maybe they weren't even Native American, and this was causing them so much trauma that they had to get some therapy. They needed to do some healing for it. And good for them, whether they were Native or not. I can personally tell you that I went through a few weeks of just bawling every time I thought about it. So there's that. But I mean, why is it a competition? Why is it such a competition to have to say I suffered more than this person did, or that person did, or this group or that group, or this race or that race? Why is that even a thing, bro? We haven't even gotten into MMIWG2s. We haven't gotten into missing women, stolen sisters that are being gone missing for this reason or that reason, or died this way or that way. Haven't even gotten into that. We've gotten plenty into the protect street vendor stuff. We've gotten plenty into the kids in cages stuff, which seems to not matter to ethnocentrics, FBAs, white supremacy. You know, where's our get out of jail free card when we start throwing the smoke back? You know, and we also have this proper etiquette thing with each other where we're like, hey brother, you might want to be careful with what you say, because you're starting to sound a little you're starting to sound racist. Are you fucking kidding me right now? We're the only ones being policed, and we're policing each other. uh we're doing nothing but throwing the smoke back when we didn't even fucking initiate the shit. It's not coming from our exhaust. Trust me, it's not. We're just shooing it back that way to where it came from, and we can't even do it the same way, right? There's fucking agent hiding in the bushes, ready to fucking cap us for it as soon as we do it. And if they're not waiting in the bushes, our own people are shining a flashlight on us, like, here he is. There he is, the fucker. Get him. Fucking get him. Get that fucker. Get him for fucking throwing the fucking smoke back. Who does he think he is, throwing the fucking smoke back? He shouldn't be throwing the fucking smoke back. Inhale it, breathe it, fucking die from it. I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. But these are facts. These are facts. We're getting in trouble for defending ourselves. We're getting in trouble for protecting ourselves. And what I really wanted to do more than that, more than like kind of like, give that subject some love. I wanted to get some people to actually call in and talk to me about it, because, like, I guess all is fair in love and war, right? Like, todo se vale, se vale hasta morder, ¿verdad? Se vale hasta lo que no, ¿me entienden? It's not a fucking, it's not a competition, man. And you're aiding white supremacy. If you're making this whole thing a competition, understand that you're aiding white supremacy. And the accusations have been there for like groups or people that aid white supremacy in that way. Like, the suspicion is there. Like, you really think that we don't look at you, we're side-eyeing you, we're squinty-eyed, and we're just like, you think we look at you like that for the fun of it? You think we don't know that you might be an informant, that you might be working with the government? Like the baddest motherfuckers turn out to be informants, people that run gangs and things of that nature. Like, people think being a cholo is cool. Like, dude, man, you're at the bottom of the totem pole. The fucking guy at the top will fucking snitch you out or have you killed over like nothing, over slight suspicion, throw you under the bus. And these are the characters that we're dealing with. We're dealing with people that are protected and people that are quick to throw you under the bus. Aiding and abetting white supremacy, promoting it, spewing the same rhetoric, right? And we are talking about white supremacy, folks. We're talking about the whitest of the white, bland salad eating motherfucker with fucking raisins up in that shit. Yeah, we're talking about those motherfuckers. We're talking about pillowcases with holes in them. I can't see out of this damn thing, right? Yeah, we're talking about those guys. They like to use rope and trees and burn crosses on people's lawns. These are the people that you're aiding and abetting. These are the people that send billions of dollars to Ukraine, but can't send 1,000 to Compton. These are the people that you're aiding and abetting in hopes of what? In hopes of climbing the ladder or being teacher's pet? I don't understand it. You think you're on the field? You want to work in the house where it's more comfortable? I don't get it. And it's not even just one particular group of people. It's all people's. All everyone's doing it. Our own people are doing it. Our own people are waving the red flag and shining the flashlight on us and saying, "There he is. There's that son of a bitch. Get him. Fuck him and fuck everything he does. Fuck him for protecting his culture and fuck him for calling me out on being a douchebag. There he is. Go get him." So that all of our other people can remain in the dark, because that's where we want to keep them. We want to keep our people in the dark and with their heads in the sand. We're talking about history, folks. We're not talking about something you can't look up. We're not talking about information that was destroyed. No, we're talking about some very provable things. We're talking DNA. We're talking hey, let's learn from scientists and experts and archaeologists and anthropologists. Let's learn from them. Yeah. But no, we rather learn from cultists and people that wrote books 15 years ago and have no knowledge of what they're talking about and no certificate that says they know what they're talking about. Like there's just nothing, and they got nothing going for them. On top of that, they can't even keep their stories straight. And this is the people that simps want to listen to. This is the people that that colonizers want to listen to and settlers want to listen to, and they're doing such a good job. And I said it before, I really wanted somebody to call in just to know how they're feeling, just so that they can vent a little bit. Cause this is definitely therapeutic to me. This is definitely, at this point, with no one watching and we're here by ourselves. Yeah, this is definitely venting about how I feel about the discrepancy there, the unfairness, the bias. We're people too, and it's so easy for everyone to shit on us. It's almost socially acceptable. Who are you talking about? Oh, pick one. Indigenous people? Shit. They won't even let them make a living. A Mexican? Ah, fuck. Get out of here. Everyone's talking shit about Mexico. You've never heard someone talk shit about a Mexican? Everyone fucking does it. And there's no safe space either. We're liable to get fucked with in our own homes. We're liable to get fucked with in our own place of business. It just seems like there's a green light for our people when it comes to shitting on us, when it comes to mistreating us, when it comes to being unfair, harassment, violence, like you name it. It's like standard now. It's breakfast, it's lunch, it's dinner, it's breathing. It's natural at this point. The hate that our people get from white supremacy and the issue with white privilege as well. Let's not forget that they'll play the world's smallest violin for all our issues, and at the same time, drink from that really expensive tea glass and have a pinky up. Cheers, right? Or even people that are playing a real violin for our issues and doing the same thing, they won't let go of that privilege, they won't let it go, and that's really what it would take. If not a sliver of the wealthiest man on the planet, if not a slither of that wealth, then a little fucking cooperation with everyone that's getting that special treatment. Like, hey, give that special treatment up, yeah, so that we can all be on even playing fields. And no, you don't want to do that. You're enjoying this. You're enjoying the fact that you can afford to buy a house and we can't. You're enjoying that. This is working for you. Yeah, no, got it. No, no, got it. Yeah, no, you're gonna keep eating at Panera at 11 a.m. and at Ruth Chris Steakhouse at 8. Got it. It's cool, dude. For reals. It's no, yeah. No. No, no, I can totally just get another shift and always be skipped over because your dad's friend's uncle fucking works for the company. No, that's fine. Yeah, we'll just keep doing that because that's what you're comfortable with. Yeah, I'll make the argument. If we're on even playing fields, yeah, the world would look very different all around. Everything about the world would be different. And I have to address this Jeffrey Dahmer series on Netflix. Who's enjoying that? Huh? Anybody into like creepy, Halloweeny, scary shit, or just weird shit in general? I know there's like horror movie fans, man, that they're just hardcore with their shit. They're normal people. They just like scary shit. It's not a big deal. Horror is my favorite genre. Let's get that out of the way. I'm not throwing shade on people that love horror movies. I'm saying I'm one of them. I love horror movies. And it's crazy. People look at you sideways, like you're able to watch The Exorcist 3 and then just go to sleep on a Saturday night or a Tuesday night. Like it's almost bedtime and you're just gonna watch The Exorcist 3 real quick and fall asleep. Yeah. Yeah, bro. But Jeffrey Dahmer's an interesting character for so many reasons. This fucking guy was real. He was very fucking weird, even as a kid. Sort of dainty fucker, like completely insane, impulsive, can't even control himself. That's how addicted he is to the strange things that he does to give him feelings of relief or comfort, euphoria, whatever it is, whatever high he was chasing, he had no control over it. Whatever he had an urge to do, it just seems like he just kind of went ahead and did it. Not very careful, not methodical at all. Not even a good liar. Not even a good liar. So then we start talking about how that fits in with what we talk about. How does it fit in with white privilege? we I want to say we weren't even introduced to this aspect of Dahmer. It was always a docu-series or something similar, and it was never really this in-depth. It was never really this personal. Could they just not have gotten away with it back then? Did they not have the technology or the understanding to tell the story? Was it too soon, man? Because now we're jumping into this thing where it's very possible that the only reason Jeffrey Dahmer was allowed to become and sort of left alone to his own devices was because of white privilege. White privilege coming from police, white privilege coming from the judge. You know, this white privilege was awarded to Jeffrey Dahmer over and over and over and over and over. Where we know in certain situations, like, hey man, if that had been me that had gotten pulled over, if that had been me that had gotten stopped, you know, and he literally would just say whatever came to mind, like, "Hey Jeff, what's under that rag over there? It's kind of shaped like a human skull." Oh, that's just my bowling ball. Yeah, that's just my bowling ball. Yeah, I like keeping my bowling ball there because it soothes me. Yeah, I like having it close by at all times. Oh, okay. And that's what people were doing. They were just like, "Oh, okay, okay, Jeff. Jeff, who is this young man?" Oh, yeah, that's just my boyfriend. Yeah, it's just my boyfriend. Yeah, he's had too much to drink, and I really just want to get him back in the house. I'd really, really like to get him back in the house if that's okay. And then what was his other easy way out was admitting that he was homosexual, saying he was gay. That got people to like, whoa, whoa, man. I didn't ask to look inside of your asshole, sir. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, no. Apparently, like telling somebody you were gay back in the 80s when this fucker was doing his crazy shit. Apparently, telling somebody you had AIDS was enough for someone to be like, bro, too much information. Way too much information. Not only that, like, hey, am I gonna get sick? You had the AIDS uh thing going on in the movie. I didn't like, oh my god, yes, it happened in real life. And yes, it was all being blamed on gay people, a la fucking COVID. The same way you see COVID right now being blamed on Asian people by fucking assholes. Yeah. You had people, actually not just assholes, but just like a quiet old grandma not wanting to touch the subject. Oh, it's okay, Sonny. It don't matter. Don't matter that you're bringing people home and chopping them up and hiding them in the walls, as long as we don't talk about the fact that you're gay. Just no gay talking. We'll and we're solid, right? Fuck. With so many characters on there, with the police were all weird about him being gay. His dad, obviously the grandma. I just he was white and he was gay and he had those things working for him in a very fucked up way. This fucking Jeffrey Dahmer guy. Fentanyl. I wanted to talk about fentanyl a little bit. I I'm 6 months sober from alcohol. The only thing I haven't left is the weed. So if people are wondering why I was so faded, it was inedible. I made some at home fucking edibles and I got a little too high. I was losing focus and forgetting what point I was trying to make. So then having to like, so it probably, instead of sounding like a show, it probably sounded like just high banter babble, right? And oh, I'm doing it again. Fentanyl. Yeah, I'm not doing any crazy drugs. It's just weed. But I don't want to judge anyone that is right now, because I used I used to be an alcoholic. Well, I think you never stop, right? You can stop drinking, And you could say, well, I'm 6 months sober, or 7 months, I think it is now. I think we're at 7 months. You know how hard it is. You know how, you might be thinking about stopping before you're even like actually there, and that might be a process. Like it's a really tough process, and so you'll never get any judgment from me. I did want to disclose that I'm not doing drugs, but I don't have anything against you if you do drugs. Now, what I do want you to do is I want you to be safe. I want you to be safe. I'm like that parent at home that's like, here's a condom. You're 16. You're probably not, but if you are, just be fucking safe, right? Very, very similar type feeling. Now we get to the why. Might as well get this part out of the way because it's all difficult. It's all been difficult. As soon as I said the word fentanyl, it's all been difficult. We know someone that lost someone to fentanyl. They overdosed. And it's never easy. We're not good at death. We're especially not good at death if it's someone that's young, someone in their prime, or someone that hasn't even touched their prime. And then when we start talking about cause of death, I mean, we're not good at that either. I mean, right? What does it matter? I mean, you got hit by a bus, you fell off a lot of stairs, you crashed in a car. You know, no, it's actually all really hard to take in. It really doesn't matter what happened. Could have been from sneezing. It doesn't matter. They're gone, and it hurts. But I think when you hear overdose like that, that's also kind of like a very specific hurtful pain. Like what isn't, right? So many ways to die. I mean, it's all painful, but to hear that, I think personally, like, someone you cared about overdosed. And the reason I want to talk about fentanyl is because there's so many things that are killing our people, and we have something that that's on the list. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, is it on your list? Was it on your list? Is it going to be on your list now? Fentanyl, because I mentioned it tonight. I hope so. That's why I mentioned it. Like, I don't like putting anyone's stuff out there. Like, fuck. Is the day gonna come when someone's gonna walk up to me and be like, "Hey, man, I don't want you talking about that shit on your fucking show." I don't know. So what I'm saying is that I'm taking some sort of a risk by even opening my mouth. But that's how much of an issue that it really can be. Fentanyl. Do you even know you're taking it? Let's do a little bit of a backstory on fentanyl. It looks like it's gonna be a long night, folks, because we're about an hour in and we're talking about fentanyl. So this we could be in for a long one. So let me tell you what I know about fentanyl. I know that a lot of really cool rappers have died from it. I think Mac Miller is the one that comes to mind. A lot of big rappers that, I mean, I can't even, I don't remember their name because yes, they were big, but there was no longevity because of fentanyl. So I didn't really get a chance to learn their name by heart. Yeah, they were big when they were alive. They're fucking dead now because of fentanyl. So you start maybe with what you know, or with what you think you know, and then you start kind of like thinking about, well, what are my experiences, you know? And what comes to mind is me being hurt, and me being at the doctor, and me asking the doctor for anything really. Just give me anything better than Tylenol or ibuprofen, right? That's what they always want to give you. They want to give you something chill like that. because everybody's scared to death to prescribe Oxycontin to you. No one wants to prescribe Vicodin to you anymore. No one wants to, these, and it almost like these words like are triggering like, oh man, that's so 2000s, right? That's so like early 2000s of you. No religion, because you don't find this stuff anymore. I mean, you can ask for it, and 9 times out of 10, guess what you're getting? You're getting fentanyl. Oh man, am I putting a target on my back right now? Because there's drug dealers out there that are telling you that they're selling oxycodone. I always forget how to pronounce that shit. They're telling you it's Roxy's, but is it? What are the possibilities that when you think you're buying a pill that's a painkiller, what's the possibility that it's actually fentanyl? Now I'm gonna go ahead and put my aluminum foil hat on right now, and I'm gonna play the what if game. What if they were putting fentanyl in everything? What if they were putting it in your weed? What if they were putting it in your blow? What if they were putting it in your acid? What if they were sprinkling some on your mushrooms? And so on and so forth. Because we know they can put it in your pills. We know that. But where else are they putting fentanyl that you don't know about? So if you're someone that, let's say every now and then, you'll smoke some weed for breakfast, drink some beer for lunch, do some lines of coke for dinner, and well, hey, once we're past dinner, it's dessert time, right? What if you're someone that likes to mix? Would it increase your chances of being exposed to fentanyl? And if you're someone that likes to mix, will it increase your chances of dying from an overdose? So I'm not saying don't do drugs. I'm not saying don't do fentanyl, although I wish I could. You can't tell people what to do. But you could always ask. You could always ask, please be safe when you're out there doing what you're doing. In the moment, it might feel like, hey, I feel good, and man, if I just had a little bit more, I could feel better, and maybe I can. I don't know. What are you trying to accomplish at that point? Get some rest. Maybe next time you're debating whether you should fall asleep or do some more drugs, just just decide to fall asleep. Try to think about people that are unaware of what you're doing and just eager to see your face again. Especially if you have people that are at home waiting for you. Think about them before you do that one last line or whatever, right? Oh, we're reaching the climax. Where's our song? My note says, the night is always darkest before the day. Don't we know it? And a lot of the times you run into these rough patches that really do feel like the all is lost moment. What we have to do is continue to protect the culture. And what do I mean by that? Keep doing what you're doing. If you feel like you're fighting wobbles, or if you're spreading information on misinformation, like, keep doing it. Keep learning the language, keep learning the facts, keep teaching it to other people, keep the posts up, and just preserve it, pass it on to your children, because we've been through this before. Don't forget that we've actually been through this before. We've been attacked on this level, and it's not the first time. And what our people did was they survived, and they made sure that everything else survived too. And that's what you got to do now, and that's your job. Don't worry about the haters. Don't worry about the opposition. They are doomed to fail. They are doomed to fail. Don't forget that we have the knowledge and our minds are decolonized, and they don't have the knowledge and their minds are not decolonized. They're doomed to fail, and that's what we have. That's what we have going for us. So just keep doing what you're doing, all right? It's episode 5, No Religion Radio. No religion, out.